Hey guys, this is SoundJack from Nerdy Geek Talk, the source for all your nerdy geeky needs, here with episode 33 of Steel City Bots. Eric is not here tonight, unfortunately. I believe he is very busy with finals coming up for him. So,
No, he isn't. Hashtag pray for Eric.
Yes.
Hashtag pray for Eric.
Yes. Hashtag pray for anyone with finals coming up.
That too.
Yeah.
Actually, he is here as I am Eric now.
No, you're not, Tanner. But, however, Tanner, how are you today?
Oh man, this is a great. Remember last week, guys, when I said next episode was going to be a really good episode for me? Well, hey, it's that episode. That's right. I got something. Oh, and it's big. And no, it's not. It's not Triptychon. It's bigger.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Triptychon.
Definitely. Definitely.
It's bigger than 5 Triptychons, I would say.
Yes. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm alright. I've been better. I've been worse. Been a rough week.
Okay.
We finally finished moving out, though, so...
Nice.
At least we're supposed to be, but knowing my luck, we'll have to go back 2 more times. But anyway, you guys aren't here about that, so... On to the next person.
Alright. Jared, how are you doing?
I'm alright. Like Chris, it's been a bit of a rough few days for me for some personal reasons, but I'm here and I'm pulling through, so yeah.
Good.
Oh, she did.
Good. And Miguel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, I think you would be after something that you got this week.
Amazing pizza, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we shall, but and also I am doing quite well myself. But before we
Who asked you?
I did. I asked myself, Tanner.
That's pretty low, man.
Well, someone had to. It's because the audience needs to know how everyone's doing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, getting into the first segment, the history lesson, which is done by me. Today on April 23rd, on this day, Eric did leave main history lesson for today, but I also want to add in the fact, because this is my segment anyway, and I was going to do this anyway. Today is also William Shakespeare's birthday and death day.
You mean expiration date?
Yes, it is also, yes. I forgot about that. Yes, today is his birthday and his expiration date, if you would. But the main history lesson for Transformers reasons, even though Shakespeare's tendentially involved in Transformers.
Tell me what Billy Shakespeare has to do with that Transformer show.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that. His alt mode was a loop.
There is let's start with the fact that there is in fact a character called William Shakespeare-Con.
One moment, I need to curse.
He sounds like a really cool dude.
He wrote the play Primus of Cybertron.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
William Shakespeare-Con wrote Primus of Cybertron, of which a segment was played as part of Cybertronian theater.
I need to mute for more cursing. 1 moment.
Beep.
Yep, a lot of beeping. But anyway.
What's going on in
The live eel!
But anyway. Main history lesson of the day is the fact that on this day, April 23rd, in the year 2016, the Robots in Disguise episode Portals premieres on Cartoon Network in the US.
Oh, it was the best one.
Yes, it was, because this is the episode Soundwave made his comeback to the aligned continuity.
Not just any Soundwave, Transformers Prime Soundwave, aka the second coolest one.
I take it the G11's the coolest?
Oh, you know.
I would be surprised if it wasn't.
The Beast Wars one.
What?
Oh yeah, the mutant Soundwave that transformed from an alligator into a bat, not into a robot.
Okay, Pixar, it didn't happen.
Okay, I'll pull it up. I'll stall the show a little bit so as I can pull up.
I do not believe you. That's just.
It's not April.
I'm gonna feel silly in about 15 seconds. I know, but that's just no. That just sounds no.
There you are.
All right, clicking link.
Yeah, no. This was weird. I mean, it was obviously a reference to Ratbat, but
why is he puking pink in this picture?
Don't ask.
Because he had too much energy on.
At the risk of sounding repetitive, muting for more cursing.
Don't ask for a reason.
Yeah, no, I mean, we don't need a reason. But anyway, yes, in Robots in Disguise, Soundwave came back in from...
Oh, he totally wrecked the whole team. Oh, it was great.
He did. That was cool. That was pretty freaking cool. And then he came back...
And then Bumble's reaction when he saw the drone flying through the ground bridge.
Yes.
He was like, no.
Yeah.
And everyone else was like, yes!
Yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool. But moving on, what did everyone get this week? Jared, what did you get?
I got Studio Series Starscream, and I really like him. He's a very nice figure. Definitely Dark in the Moon Starscream, the deluxe version of it. But I really like it, and I like the improvements that I've made on it, because I did have the Dark of the Moon deluxe Starscream, but mine suffered the same fate as most people's figure, which is his one ball socket just eroded away to nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very nice, and in this jet mode, he actually has a little port on like the like where his crotch plate is for a flight stand. So I use my flight stand, or one of the flight stands I got my one War Giant set. So I can display him in jet mode. Yeah, it's very nice.
I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah.
I think I posted or sent you guys a picture in the group chat, but I could be wrong.
Well, you could also post it to the Instagram account.
I could.
You could. That's very true.
Yeah.
But did you get anything else, Jared?
Got a video game.
God of War.
Other than that, no. Yep.
Nice.
Other than that,
Got a Thunder.
Anyway, Chris, what did you get?
I got 4 Studio Series Thundercrackers at my Toys R Us. And I gave one to the kid of one of my mom's friends, because apparently he really likes Transformers and he's like small. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is free Thundercracker for you, kid.
Yep.
From your Auntie Chris. But anyway, I've got 2 of those locked in already for sales. But I still have one of them that is ripe and up for sale. Tanner had the option to buy it, but he ruined it for himself. So I have one Thundercracker that is still for sale. I'm taking offers. You can DM me on Twitter, and shoot me your best offer.
She will only accept offers in Super Mario coins.
No, actually, I will accept dollar or PayPal.
That translates to Bitcoin.
No, never mention that in my presence again.
But nice.
Other than that, I don't think I got anything Transformers related. I did go on a shopping spree because my tax refund came in, so I bought a bunch of books and some Legos, and I got Michi some stuff. And it was we had a really fun weekend, at least on Saturday. But yeah, other than that, nothing really Transformers related.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah. Eric, what did you get? Final stress. Okay.
I got I went to Sonic and I got a milkshake. Oh no, wait, that was last week.
We're rooting for you, Eric.
I almost
if you're
stranded
listening.
Tanner and Jared at Sonic.
If you're listening,
guys, next time live stream.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you, dude. If you're listening, just hang in there. Be strong.
Yeah. All right. So Miguel, what did you get this week?
I got too much.
To the point where the recording just blacks out for approximately 20 minutes for no good reason. Sorry, that was stupid.
So this past weekend here in New Jersey was ToyCon NJ, a toy convention, like northwest New Jersey. It's been going on since I think 2015, and I made the rounds there once again and had some company. This time around, I'm not sure if anyone knows this person. They Wheel Wave, I believe, from the Tin Town radio show.
Hold up.
Tin Town, I gotta remember that.
SoundJack, do you know this Wheel Wave? I think if you two combined your names, I gotta say you would have 2 very awesome characters.
Oh no, is this a Wheel Wave? Is this Wheel Wave?
No.
Is this?
No, that's Nightbeat.
Your picture's frozen, so I have no idea.
I was holding up something I will be talking about in my list of purchases. But what Miguel is referring to is the fact that I was there with him at ToyCon this year. I also went with my girlfriend, Alyssa, who is on the Steel City Box, who is on the Nerdy Talk Network on the Anime Overdrive podcast. So plug that. Plug that a little bit. But yes, so what did you get at this convention, Miguel?
All right. Well, in order of like when I got them, first off, shout out to Ant TFU.info himself. He tweeted out at me and SoundJack, because he was also there, that there was a Armada tidal wave for about $15. And when we walked into the dealer room that it was in, I like saw it and immediately like made the beeline for it, grabbed it, was checking it and everything. It looked fine, and then I asked the dealer, like, oh, so what's, like, I had it with me. It's like, so it's only missing the missiles, not realizing it was also missing one of the wings on the leg, which was kind of annoying when I found that out later.
Yeah.
But then the guy's just like, no, yeah, just the missiles, whatever, starts talking to me about it. Starts asking me, like, oh, how long have you been into Transformers and stuff? And I'm like answering these guys' questions. I'm like, oh, wait, why not? And then he looks at the sticker and he's like, $14.99. I could do 10. And I'm like, yes. So grab that. And then the one thing I did check once I got it is because so he turns into the 3 vehicle modes: the aircraft carrier, the sort of boat with all of like the anti-aircraft turrets, and then the hovercraft with the seats for the minicons. On the aircraft carrier, there's an elevator type thing that's where the minicon ramjet stores. I've heard plenty of stories where people have said, like, oh yeah, I didn't see the minicon, or like the listing said the minicon wasn't included, but I raised the little elevator and the minicon was in there. So I did that and it was there. So I was like, all right. I'm going to keep an eye out for the missiles and for the little wing on the bottom.
Just go on eBay. I'm sure there'll be some guy charging $25 for a singular piece of plastic.
Yep.
Right now, all the listings on eBay are either really incredibly expensive, like over like close to $100 for him. It's included in lots, or every one of them that has, like, there's a lot of them that either have the same wing missing, or at first glance are like, oh no, it's got the wing, but no, it's because the one he's missing his right leg wing. There's been some where there'll be a wing on that side, but it's the one from the left leg. And I'm like, why does everyone lose the right leg's wing? Like, what's wrong with it?
Both of mine still have their right leg wings, so that's good.
I mean, just like a lot of it's good for you. I still enjoy mine.
Chris, you can take advantage of Miguel here. Okay, remember, he's willing to pay anything for anything.
All right, I'll charge you $10,000.
I don't have
for one of the boats.
For one of the what?
For just one of the boats.
For one, which boat? Like, you're gonna give me the arms? Like, that doesn't help me.
I will give you the pants.
The pants would help me, but I don't.
Just the pants.
I don't have $10,000 to spend on pants.
All right, $5,000. Deal.
I still maybe too. It's a little bit too rich for me at the moment.
Just a little. All right, $2,000.
Just a tad. But yeah, I'll keep an eye out. Or if anyone out there happens to have a piecemeal tidal wave where they have the legs with the wings intact and they want to hit me up,
dude, I will trade. I will work out a trade with like toy for toy with some cash. We'll work this out. I'm not even joking.
We can talk later. And I'll announce on Twitter later whether or not this deal falls through. And in that case, if someone knows, like at Logos Minor, hit me up. After tidal wave, we made the rounds on the dealer floor. Saw tons of stuff. Like, there were guys who had, like, mint and sealed box Beast Wars stuff. Incredibly overpriced, though.
Yeah.
There was the Transformers scene at that convention was really good.
Yes. Very much so.
Lots of boxed Beast Wars 2 figures.
Yeah. Also,
which was weird. Some guy had the Korean version of what's his name?
Gigastorm,
yeah. The retool of Trypticon with the horn. For $100, it wasn't bad. And then someone else had the Car Robots Brave Max for $350, where I was like, that's amazing, but I can't afford that, so no.
Oh, Miguel, did you see Ant's post about the two packaged Hero Optimus Prime Megatron figures?
Oh yeah, I saw it. I thought I meant to respond to you, but yeah, Ant mentioned how, like, we found this one dealer who had the G2 Hero Optimus and Megatron, but they were in the unreleased alternate colors, so the gray camo and then like the all blue for Prime. Where at the moment that we saw them, I couldn't remember like what those read echoes were, and then later on it's like, yeah, someone had the unreleased versions. I'm like, that's where I remembered them from.
Yeah. I didn't know they were unreleased. I was like, I never saw those colors before. But also that seller was asking for $2,500 each.
Yeah.
Okay, question. If someone were to buy that and then hypothetically take it out of the box,
everyone would kill you.
How quickly would they die?
Very.
Wait.
No, I might actually do that.
Who would die? The people or the toy? Like, what
The
are we
person who
talking
bought
about
the
here?
toy.
Oh, well, then I don't know. I mean, people have done that before where they've, like, on camera been like, this is a rare, unreleased toy.
That's fair. If you do it on camera, that's fine.
That's so me.
Yeah.
After Tidal Wave, though, like, we made the rounds, didn't really see anything that was particularly striking. We left. Eventually, we came back, and then that's when these last two purchases happened. Actually, no. I lied. One of these did happen before we left. One dealer that I know who was there was selling like stuff out of his personal collection, and he had Henkei Streak, the Takara release of Universe Silver Streak, with the more G1 accurate colors and chrome and whatever. And I'm like, I don't have that yet, so I'll pick it up. And he's cool. Probably one of the best looking versions of this mold. The chrome, some of the placement is weird because that's what Henkei did. They're like, yeah, we're gonna put chrome on everything. Like, what is it? Henkei Galvatron has chrome all over his turret, which is weird. And then so he's got it all over his gun and his missile launchers and his knees, because why not? And then last but not least, the final thing, as we're probably approaching, like, leaving the show, like, after we come back, like, the show's about to wrap up, we're looking at this one guy's table, and then I turn, and I see something on a shelf. I start freaking out. I'm like, how did I miss this? And the dealer goes, oh, because I didn't have it out until now. And I'm like, how much? And we talk it out and everything, and he drops the price, and I'm like, that's more than I have on cash. And then SoundJack's kind enough to spot me some money so I can buy it. I picked up a mint in sealed box, Car Robots Black Convoy, the original black and teal Optimus Prime Redeco. This thing's amazing. Minty, like the fact that I had the opportunity to just like cut out the tape and open it and release it from its box after 18 years. This thing's amazing. Because what is it? So he's got the cab. This is based off the G2 laser Optimus Prime mold. The electronics have been gutted, so he doesn't have the light up feature anymore. But he still has the trailer with all of its little gimmicks. The one thing, though, because the
air pump thing?
Yeah, the air pump. No, the air pump launcher, that's the thing I'm talking about, because the hose in that, I guess, instead of rubber, it's like a plastic that has some sort of chemical in it to make it pliable. That thing feels, like, sticky.
Oh.
After, like, I think and this happens a lot, where, like, the chemicals that are mixed into the plastic eventually start to, like, separate. It happens, like, what is it, in the G1...
are you talking the Monstercons?
The Pretender monsters.
Yes.
How their Pretender shells are all, like, made to be soft and squishy, and eventually they start, like, oozing. It seems like this might be on some sort of path like that, where it'll start just, like, oozing out its chemicals.
Oh, how lovely.
It feels really bizarre. It was one of those things where I was like messing with it, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And I never got the air pump thing to work with my Hasbro Scourge when I was little. I still can't get the damn thing to work right. But like, it's got all the pieces and everything. Looks great. I put them back in the box for now, just to kind of like be like, all right, I looked at it and everything's here. Put it back, keep it there. Maybe I'll take some pictures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, that pretty much sums up my Transformers haul from the convention.
Yes. Yeah. So, however, as for me, I got a few more things. I probably spent about as much, if not less, than Miguel, but
this is pretty adequate.
Before we even get to the convention,
not that much stuff. Good lord!
Before we even get to
Michi. Yeah.
Before we even
was I not muted?
No, you were not muted.
Michi wanted me to look over a deck she built. Sorry.
You're good.
Muting.
All right. Before we even get to the convention, I wasn't here last week. So the week before last, I got a package in that I got off of eBay. I got a fair few Minicons with a price suggestion thanks to Miguel's guidance. I bought because Chris McFeely was doing the whole Armada thing, and then I reorganized my collection and got back onto my Minicon kick. So I picked up both from the same seller, the X Dimension Adventure Micron, which is a Japanese exclusive coloration of the Adventure team, as well as the substantially more rare White Destruction Micron.
What?
Who said what?
Well then.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just all pure white, and they're a lot of fun, and minicons are great.
That's cool. I like that. I like that color on them.
Yeah, the white destruction microns are supposed to be like a paint it and make it yourself, but they were pretty rare when they were released. I think.
That's actually really cool. They should do that more.
Yeah, they should.
And release them in craft stores.
That would be neat. Just make your own cons. But no, they're staying in their pure white state for me. But they are quite fun, and I have headcanons for a lot of my minicons, which you could see on my Twitter. That's all. Then last week, my target got in the Studio Series figures, only the Deluxes and Voyagers. I haven't seen them with the leaders yet, even though there's a space for them on the shelves. But I also picked up a Studio Series Starscream, which Jared has already discussed a fair bit about. So I'm just going to say it's really good. I never had the Dark of the Moon figure, so I'm not sure. Like, I've just heard that it's like an upscale of that, but I still think it's a good figure. Plugging my channel, you can go to SoundJack 426 and check out my review of the Studio Series Starscream when it goes up. I haven't posted that yet. When it goes up.
Are you going to release a video on the Thursday? Because that's 426.
Why?
Maybe Friday.
Why Thursday?
Because that's 426.
What's 420? Why 426?
Because SoundJack 426.
Now I'm upset that I didn't recognize that.
I'm saying it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Darn it. Now I've got to think.
Whatever you do, you should have me on. Just saying. Anyway.
Okay, so now with that out of the way, we can actually talk about the things that were purchased at the convention. So, like Miguel said, we walked in.
SoundJack, are you forgetting something?
What?
You are forgetting something. You forgot about a particular person who usually never gets anything.
I'm not done. I'm not done yet. You're gonna have to wait to. My phrasing might have been bad, but like,
never mind.
I still have.
Tanner's about to
explode. The way you continued, it sounded like you were moving on to like the new section.
Understandable.
Yeah,
understandable. I can understand where the confusion was, but moving on to what I actually got from the convention is what I meant.
All right.
Continue with
So first thing, I'm going to try to do this as much in chronological order as I can. So first table we stopped at, which is the same table Miguel got the Tidal Wave from. I pick up my first purchase of the convention. I pick up the GoBots Crasher, as well as the Spy Changer Wheeljack. Which is funny because they basically transform into the same vehicle, but they also have two very different robot modes, and even though their vehicle modes are about-ish the same size, Crusher turns out to be substantially taller. And it's nice to have more females on my shelf, so I was glad to find that. And the Wheeljack, obviously, he doesn't have his gun, but oh well, it was a tiny gun. It's fine.
And that was the bin where the guy also had a Spy Changer's Scourge, but it was covered in like marker or pen.
Yeah.
Like there was a trend in at the convention of like, some of these loose figures are kind of jacked up. Like,
yeah. His table in particular, I did notice had a lot of like stuff on them. Like I saw a Sinner Twin, like the heads were all like covered in black marker or something.
Oh, the wheelie that was panel lined.
Yes.
That was amazing.
That was great. That was crazy. That was great. That was wonderful.
Well, we're all guilty of doing that when we were kids, right? At least once. Right?
I actually never did that.
No.
Oh, God.
Maybe.
Oh, God.
What? Wait, never did what?
Paint it.
Took marker or pen to your figures to be like, I'm going to add detail.
Okay, well, I didn't want the figure anymore, and I didn't care about it. And it was a crap figure to begin with.
What figure was it?
What?
What figure was it?
It was like a crap Legends Bumblebee from the movies.
Okay.
I forget.
One of those. Oh God.
Okay, understandable.
So I really don't feel too bad about taking a Sharpie to it to make it all bed or
Yeah.
black. I mean, well, it was pretty bad to start with.
Mm-hmm. So after those two, we walked around for a bit, and I stopped at tables and looked at things that I'm like, okay, I'll probably come back for this later, but didn't get right away. The next... Oh, wait, never mind. I forgot. The next table we really stopped at to look at, I did get something, and it was Transmetal's Tarantulas.
What? Does he have the saw gun thing?
He doesn't.
Oh.
He doesn't. He's still cool.
There's this mall around here, Jared, you might know, it's a bit out from my way. It's called the Pittsburgh Mills Mall, and they had one at this store there, but it was missing the saw gun, so I didn't buy it, and instead I bought a Transmetal's Cheetor.
Nice.
Which, not bad.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna...
Kittybot cannot fly.
Yeah, if someone can help me locate the gun for Tarantulas, that'd be great, because the only one I can see on eBay is $20-some.
Yeah, it's like, wait, it's twice the one I paid for the figure, man.
Well,
oh no, that's less than what you paid.
Yeah, it is. Not by much, but it is still less. But I do quite like him. I'm just annoyed that his elbows are hinges and his hands are upside down. I never knew that about his hands, and that bothers me. So, because he doesn't have proper hand articulation. I thought this Tarantulas had proper hand articulation on like the first one, but no. No, he doesn't. But he's still really cool. He's a bit dusty. I'll have to clean him at some point. But then we were walking around a fair bit, and then the next, if I remember correctly, the next table we stopped at, I purchased something at, was a table that had Cybertron scrap metal.
Oh.
I want that figure. I keep looking for it on eBay and whatnot, but I can't ever find it for a good price.
I have one, and I broke the gun. Like, they snapped off a long time ago.
The whole, like, the whole, like, turret thing?
The turret, I mean, the pivot, you know what I'm talking about? The part that's...
The thing I'm swiveling
is still there,
flips out.
But the part that spins is still there, but the stalk that leads up to the turret is broken.
Oh, okay. Like the actual gray part, right? Not like the Cyber Key gimmick thing?
No, the gun's in one piece. It's just, it's no longer connected to the toy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and for the audience, this is specifically the red version, because the U.S. market also got the yellow version, and the Japanese market also, on top of those, had a blue version.
Wasn't there a purple version?
No. There was not.
Yeah.
It was blue.
There was. I needed it.
Yeah.
Red, blue, yellow, and then the, like, good guy version.
Yeah, the Kobe bot version.
Yep.
And then it was used at a BotCon convention to make Rumble and Inferno.
Yep.
For a customization class.
Ooh, that one's on eBay. The gun. It's got like chrome wear. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, the Tarantula skin you're talking about?
Yeah, the $22 one. I just looked at it.
Yeah. So if someone can, it's going to be a while until I find that, if I do.
I still need the legs. I'm missing 2 spider legs on mine.
That is true. You are. But then after scrap metal, I circled back. Actually, I don't remember if I circled back at that point, or I think... Oh, this was also there. No, yeah, okay. So then I circled back to the table that Miguel got his streak from, and I looked through a bin of figures, and that was just a small bag of figures, and these were the 3 I wanted to get the most at this convention, because I just recently found out cool things with their bio, and that's fun headcanon for me. And I found all 3 of them in this same bin, and they are Brush Guard, Short Round, and Hard Top from Transformers Cybertron.
Oh, Hardtop's cool. I like him.
Yeah. And the reason why I was very excited for them is that someone on Twitter had brought up the fact that all three of them are nerds, so they are just now the Decepticon Nerd Club to me. Because Hardtop is a comic book collector. Brushguard is a botanist who loves bad B movies. And Short Round is a toy collector who has on-card editions of Generation 2 Defensor and Menasor.
What?
It's canon. G2 Defensor and Menasor are figures that are valuable in the Transformers Cybertron universe.
Well then.
Yes.
That's something.
Yes, it is. And they're part of the Nerd Club, and Biscuit's going to join the Nerd Club, and it's going to be great.
Did those expanded bios come from the Cyber Key codes, or was that posted somewhere else online?
That was Cyber Key codes. Cyber Key codes.
I remember that. That was kind of a fun gimmick, I gotta admit.
Oh, the thing to note with those is they all came with Cyber Keys, and I assume they came with their actual Cyber Keys, but no, they just came with random Cyber Keys. One of them even didn't come with the right kind of Cyber Key. Two of them came with two Earth Planet Cyber Keys like they should have, but the third one should have also come with an Earth Planet Cyber Key, but came with a Decepticon Cyber Key that didn't have a number, so it must have been a Japanese Decepticon Cyber Key, because the Japanese ones didn't have the numbers on the back. And then the other two Earth Keys I got, I believe, were for Lugnuts and Crosswise, I want to say. Which is just weird. I don't know. But at that same table, I also got animated Black Arachnia, who is very nice and very fun and a very good looking figure, especially with the animated show stylings.
Yeah, she's really good. I have her and she's fun. Even though I'm a huge arachnophobe, I guess it's a fun toy.
Yep. And at that same table as well, I also picked up myself Cybertron Unicron, the deluxe version, if you don't know.
Another good toy.
Yes. It's
just so tiny.
It is so tiny. But
it's skull-faced.
Yes, it is. But I gotta say, this still feels like a Unicron to me. Like, its alt mode still feels like, even though it's not a turning into a planet, it still feels like Unicron. It's not like
Unicron have a giant shoulder fin.
Yeah, I mean, for the alt mode, for not being a planet, it still very much feels like I am holding Unicron in my hands.
Oh no, it's way better than a Prime Unicron, which just I turn into a volcano with my face on it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
With a little bit of force, is detachable, if memory serves, but don't quote me on that either.
Yeah,
I do know that with enough wiggling around, you can get to turn around if you want to, though.
Yeah, no, I'm good. So that was it for that table, and then Miguel was talking to someone for a while, talking about Masterpiece and stuff, and then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because they also had a weird TMNT thing. And I looked through a dollar bin of figures, and I picked up a Beast Wars Manta Ray for $1. So
McDonald's step charge, everybody.
I mean, again, another female on the shelf. So
everyone has that in their collection. I remember we were talking about that on my podcast, If Nothing.
Yeah.
I know I have one. I think Zeus has one, and now SoundJack has one.
Yep.
Everyone has one.
Yep, good figure to have in your collection. Again, also very cheap. And then after we got done talking, I looked at a different table. They had a bunch of like Combiner Wars and Titans Return figures on card, and I mentioned one figure that was a pretty good price. And Miguel was like, "And you didn't get it?" And then I went back and got it, and it was Combiner Wars Wheeljack. We're at 2 Wheeljacks now.
Do you have Generations Wheeljack?
Yes, I do.
Excellent figure, rather.
I'm going to recommend you, Tanner, to look at my Instagram. There may be a photo that you may appreciate. But at that point, we left the convention. We talked to Ant. We went out for lunch, and we got pizza. And this is pizza that Miguel has been craving now.
It was good pizza. Like I love that place. Urban Fire in Madison, New Jersey. If anyone ever winds up in the area for whatever reason.
Yeah. And after we got done having lunch at like 3 o'clock, because we left the convention like 2 for lunch, when we were trying to leave at like about 1 maybe, because we just got stuck talking to Ant. We then hung around town for a little bit. We stopped at a comic book shop, and then we stopped at a toy store, which I did make a purchase there. I got Titans Return Windblade.
Nice.
So now the only main release figure I am missing is Titans Return Misfire. But she's quite nice. I do like her much more than the Thrilling 30 figure. And I gave her the Thrilling 30 figure swords, and at the moment, Titans Return 6-Shot is currently holding Titans Return Windblade swords. I think
SoundJack, it's beautiful.
Thank you, Tanner. Everyone should go.
And then it's like,
yeah, everyone should go to my Instagram to see what we're talking about, and it involves Wheeljacks, so you'll know. But after that, we went back to the convention for like another hour. There wasn't a whole lot of time left. And then making sure I hit everything else. I did make up 2 more purchases. Ended up going back and picking up Dark Energon Wheeljack, which is a clear plastic Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Ritaco of the Prime Wheeljack mold in Slicer's colors, who is his Decepticon counterpart Ritaco from the Action Masters toy line. And his left arm does not feel like it's going to break on me, unlike my Wheeljacks. And then last figure I purchased. I was going back and forth on this one for a while, and it was...
Well, you're lucky Eric isn't here.
Yeah. Animated...
You would flip.
Ultra Magnus.
Very good.
Who is quite nice. His electronics still work.
Ultra Magnus here.
Yeah, he's here.
Robert Stack, is that you?
Here's a hint. But after I took it out, upon closer inspection, I realized it was missing a few pieces. It was in a bag in alt mode, so I didn't notice these. And I also didn't realize a couple of them even existed until I looked on reviews online to figure out proper transformations, because a couple minor steps. But mine's missing both knee pads, and there are apparently a couple panels that exist on his body that seem to only serve to cover up a transformation joint in the alternate mode, just to give him a clean vehicle body. And he's missing both of those on both sides. So he's missing quite a few tiny panels, which is really unfortunate, because it's going to be really hard to track that down, I feel. But if I can find them, I'll find them. If not, I'm not. The thing I'm more annoyed about are the knee pads.
I might have a hookup.
If you can get me a hookup, that would be really great.
Yeah, I might know somebody. I'll see if he's willing to sell.
Cool. But another thing I do want to bring up that I couldn't tell, because you can't see this when this is in its alternate mode, but there's some marker writing on my Ultra Magnus's inner leg.
What does it say for those of us who can't see?
I think it's like 390B?
That's the activation code.
Maybe? I don't know.
You know what to do.
It's
Everyone,
like,
you know what to do.
Well, there's also a dot between the 3 and the 9, so maybe someone was selling it for 390, which seems ridiculously wrong. I don't know. I don't know. But hey, I got an animated Magnus. He's cool. He's really nice. His electronics, again, still work. The transformation noise kind of was fiddly on mine, like it got stuck for like the first 2 minutes after I first attempted to transform, but I realized I just needed to jiggle something to get it to work correctly. So he's fine, just missing a few panels here and there. And that all is my haul from TFCon. I mean ToyCon.
Yeah, done.
ToyCon, yeah.
ToyCon NJ.
Yeah, ToyCon NJ.
You went to a completely different convention at the end.
He traveled through time and space.
I went back to ToyCon. I can't get this straight.
Did a time warp?
Let's do the time warp again. But yeah. Though I do also want to bring up, while we are on the convention story, Alyssa and Miguel share way too much in common.
I mean magenta.
It's crazy.
We don't have to go into detail, but I'll save it for after the recording. But yeah, there was too much.
Too much. But she did also enjoy herself, and she got something. She didn't get anything Transformers related. She just got some cool games. But now that I'm done, we can finally get to Tanner. Tanner, what did you get this week?
Okay, well, I probably got the biggest thing out of all of us. However, I can't top the sheer amount of things the SoundJack got. I mean, how much was that?
I think $156.
No, I mean, like how many different individual figures did you get?
Well, from the convention itself, I think it was just 14, but then with the...
Just 14? Only 14?
I only bought 3 things.
You also got something else,
you
Miguel. You also got a...
No one else.
You also got a Game Boy Advance SP.
Miguel.
But then if I also include everything else I talked about, that's also 7 more things because of 2 Micron teams. So 3 individual figures, if you want to do that way.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was a lot. But anyway.
Wow, okay.
I just had to destroy your thunder. That's what I had to do. That's why I'm here.
You're not going to do that this time, unfortunately. But I have gotten one thing. Yes, one thing that's big. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. I got a real car. Yes, that's right. I now own a 2008 Mitsubishi Lancer GTS, and I love it.
2008?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you said in the group chat that it was a 2004.
You crazy?
No?
Yes, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But
okay.
yes, it is dark blue, and I'm very happy with it. I like it a lot.
And it looks really good. It does look really nice.
Yeah. So if you've ever wondered why I don't really get a whole lot, this right here would be a contributing factor.
Yeah.
Saving up.
A big one.
Would it be too much for me to ask how much you spent on that?
No, not at all. Because, okay, wait. Because now I got to steal your thunder. Miguel and SoundJack, how much did you spend on things for this week?
I already told you the number.
How much was that again?
About 156.
Okay, Miguel?
135.
Okay, well, so we got it in total with everything. It had some minor problems, so with everything fixed total, it'll be about $4,400.
I mean, that's good. It's 2008.
No, it is.
What's the mileage?
112,000.
Okay, so it's got a lot of miles, but I mean, it's a 10-year-old car.
Well,
so.
you can't really escape that.
Yeah. Unless you just happen
Just
to
like
find...
Eric will not escape my wrath.
I mean,
Oh God, yeah.
But yes, I love it, and yeah. So it's bigger than Triptychon. I could say that.
Yes.
Not the real Triptychon, but the Titan.
Yes.
Bigger than 5 Triptychons, easily, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my granddad, he owns a 19 fastback Corvette. He bought it whenever he was in the service out in Texas, and guess how many miles he has on that car?
How many?
Just under 4,000.
Wow.
For a car that old, he has not driven it a lot at all whatsoever.
No, he hasn't.
Should I tell the story of just how impulsive I am since we're on about cars?
Sure.
I was going to say
Oh, I
no
remember
because
this.
I've
You
taken
told
up.
me this.
I was going to say no because I did end up taking a lot of time with my segment. So
Oh yeah, because it's like 2 a.m.
So is that a go ahead or a not?
if you're very quick.
All right. So as many people might know, I am an impulsive buyer. And several years ago, I came into some money. Legally, I cannot say how. No, I didn't steal it. Shush.
Or did
So-
you? Find out in the after show. Okay, SoundJack is motioning me to move faster, so go.
Okay. So,
Faster.
okay. So as soon as I got that money, the first thing I did with it, and I'm super embarrassed to this day, I bought a Ferrari. It was used, but it was a Ferrari. And I had that for a couple months, and then I got the insurance bill, and I was like, oh, God. So I sold that.
Yeah.
And that is part of the reason why I don't have, despite the fact I have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of Transformers. It's basically because I bought that Ferrari, and then I bought a tank. So, yeah. That's my car story.
Yeah. But speaking of tanks, let us move on to our first bit of news. And
Nice segue.
yeah, it's close enough because the first news article is a full color photo of the unofficial masterpiece, Unique Toys Ragnaros, aka Bruticus. So, masterpiece scaled, not Bruticus, so this would be a very big figure. Does anyone know if any of these pieces are available at all?
Yep, the Brawl and Swindle are, and the Onslaught is.
Okay,
All
so
that's left is Blast Off and Vortex.
okay, so then once they're released, then people can actually have the full Bruticus combined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does look quite nice. Does anyone have any other comments about it?
It's Bruticus.
Yeah, man. Anything Bruticus. Send it over.
I already got War Giant, which for those who don't know is Iron Factory's take on a Legends class scaled Bruticus, and I kind of want this one now too.
But wait, does it come with a shockwave?
I think it does actually. I think I heard.
Excellent.
The
I could be wrong,
Ragnaros?
so don't quote me on that. But I think I heard something somewhere that one of the pieces will come with a shockwave, or they will be making a shockwave for it.
Huh.
Again, don't quote me on that, but this is just from what I've heard.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was anything, and I don't think the article had anything about it, or at least my brief skimming of it did not indicate as such. But moving on to more Masterpiece news, Make Toys reveals their unofficial Masterpiece Skywarp and Thundercracker. They were the ones that released Meteor last year, which is, I find, to be a very nice take on the Starscream mold. I'm not into third party, so I don't particularly look at them, but I saw that Make Toys Meteor, and that if I had a Masterpiece collection, I'd probably get rid of my Starscream for it, honestly. It's just so much better and a bit more in line with the aesthetics that the current Masterpiece is going, I would say. And then these are the Thundercracker and Skywarp, which they refer to as Lightning and Skycrow. Third-party names, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have Make Toys Galaxy Meteor, which is their take on a Cybertron Starscream, and I also have a couple of their cross-dimension stuff. And not to say is Make Toys, they are a pretty good third-party company.
Yeah.
All their stuff, or at least from my experience, anyways, all their stuff is nice and solid, and it's not gonna just disintegrate into nothing if you look at it funny or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I probably will be getting Meteor pretty soon. Actually, I keep thinking about buying him, but go back on it. So yeah, I pretty much go back and forth between getting him, but I'm coming close to pulling the trigger on him.
Yeah.
What?
Nice. Again, I don't do Masterpiece. It's not for me, but if I did, I would probably be getting them. Anyone else have any other comments about those two nice-looking Seekers?
I'm a fan.
Nice. So moving on is more Seeker talk, because this year's Hallmark Transformers ornament will be a G1 Starscream.
Yeah, last year's was like way better. It was so much better.
It was Soundwave.
Yeah, it was like the best one.
Oh, it was? Oh, I missed out.
It was like the only good thing that Hallmark's ever done.
So yeah. So for people that might not know, the Hallmark has been doing a line of ornaments based on Transformers, and they are pretty much like the G1 toys of the characters. And they've done Optimus, Megatron, Grimlock, and Soundwave, if I recall correctly. And then this one will be Starscream. That will start to be available in the summer of 2018. Yeah, I want some more Transformers on my Christmas tree. I'll be getting this. Will anyone else be getting this?
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm going to get last year's. Thank you very much.
I'm
going to try and look for that one, too.
Yeah, probably on eBay at this point. But I never got the Grimlock one, so I was looking at the Grimlock one, and
I have it. Actually, I have it on my entertainment center right now. He's nice.
Nice. Yeah. 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 I think that's all we need to say. It's Starscream, and he's going to be on your Christmas tree this year, or he should be at the very least.
He will be on there whether you like it or not.
Yep. But next up, we're moving away from the Seekers. And we're moving into Dinobot territory, because the next article discusses the Power of the Prime's Volcanicus upgrade kit, which is that the name of the company, Transform Dreamwave?
I think so.
Okay, so they have created they are showing off prototype images at the very least of the upgrade kit for the Power of the Prime's Volcanicus. Which gives the combiner itself better hands, better feet, new crotch plate, pieces to bulk out the chest, the sword, which from the Earth Wars games, which is just straight up the Fall of Cybertron Grimlock sword, but it's in better scale, as well as, if I recall, also a sling on the back to store the sword, as well as, if the images will load for me, all of the weapons for all of the Dinobots, plus the kibble forms into either shields for them in their robot modes. The extra parts form shields for them in their robot modes, or they can become like diaclone like pilot pod things. So it's like to kind of reference their origins. Like you can give. Are these the ones with the pods, or is that a different company doing that?
I don't know. I don't
see them. Because I looked at the images briefly and I saw like the big things on Grimlock and Slug's back, and those slugs back, and I thought, oh, okay, it's the same one I saw before, but it's not. It doesn't look to be the same to me. So I may have confused the two different kits for that last bit of information there. You know what? I did, because I'm pretty sure that's the kit I was specifically talking about is a Perfect Effect kit, which only upgrades Volcanicus and doesn't give the Dinobots their individual accessories. So, yeah, what do people think of that kit?
I think it looks pretty nice. I still need to get my Volcanicus complete. I still need Wave 2 Dinobots. I just need to find them.
Same. I need to find Wave 2 just in general here.
You need to find Wave 2 Dinobots, including Sludge, you might say?
Just all of them.
Well, I specifically point out Sludge because if we're done with this point, we can move on to the next point, which is specifically about Sludge.
Okay.
And this article, it was announced that Frank Todaro, who was the voice of Starscream in the Combiner Wars and Titans Return cartoons, will be voicing Sludge in the Power of the Primes portion of the Primal Wars trilogy, coming from Machinima.
Okay.
I didn't really watch all that much of the Machinima series stuff, so I didn't really like Starscream's voice all that much. But that's just going off of memory.
I prefer not to think of the Combiner Wars Machinima. It hurts me.
Frank Todaro, though, sounds like a good dude from what I've heard. Mostly because he has made a few appearances on TFU.info's channel, or Ant's channel at TFU.info, helping him with a couple of stories for his Transformers University series, and also helping him voice hashtag Swole Scream in Ant's Swole Scream review. So that's fun. That's I kind of like I kind of like Frank Todaro because of that. And he has I think there was something on his channel talking about about the thought he actually put in behind Starscream. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the dialogue that was scripted for him could really help, but it sounded like he had a very good idea of what he wanted to do with the character, and I very much appreciate that as an actor as well. But there is something else to bring up about Sludge. Miguel, you shared this with the group, right?
Yeah, I just caught wind on Twitter how
Yeah, I think I saw this too.
In the image that they showed for Sludge, and then there's been like a collection of images that have shown the other, have also shown Snarl and Slag. All three of them seem to be based off of the fans' toys. What were they called? The Iron Geobots or something? I think that's what they were called. So they're based off of the fans' toys versions that were Masterpiece scaled. And SoundJack, you had mentioned this. It's possible that they were either basing it off of or straight up using the same models that were developed for Earth Wars, because Earth Wars used the third-party Dinobots for their references, and this hasn't been the first time that that's happened. The Earth Wars Predacons and Predaking are based off of the Mastermind Creations Feralcons.
Yes. Which is weird that there's such a whether intentional or not, there's such a blurring of official and unofficial product that unofficial IP infringing items are becoming the actual designs of characters.
I mean, what is it? This isn't something that's sort of at the forefront of Hasbro's like their media output for Transformers. Like, this is lower tier stuff where it's like a phone game and then a Machinima series. So if this was something where, like, in a live action movie, the character that shows up, the model's clearly based off of like I don't know, like some of the, what would be a good thing if they based it off of like City Commander, like if Ultra Magnus showed up but he's clearly the fans Project One.
Oh dear.
Or like just anything third party. It happens. It's happened, but I mean, what is it? In I think More Than Meets the Eye, it happened on a couple of covers.
Yeah, there was a cover featuring third-party Brawn and Huffer, I want to say it was.
So it happens.
Gears and Huffer, I'm sorry.
It's funny when it happens. Oh, and like there was one time where in like a photo op, so there's like a father and son playing with toys, but the father's playing with Make Toys Giant, the Devastator, like Generation Skilled one. So. I thought that was just something interesting when people were pointing out on Twitter. It's like, yeah, no, they use third-party designs again. It's like, oh, those people, that happened.
Yeah. It's still...
Those rascals.
It's still weird because I would have thought Hasbro would have just given them, like, the straight-up toy design... At the very least, the Machinima cartoon, the straight-up toy designs...
Well, I mean, that's where if they actually are just recycling assets from the game, which would be weird, but plausible, I suppose.
Or at the very least, they made new models, and they just took and they based it off of the models from the game.
Right, because
they used that as their reference.
How long ago they produced the show, and if they didn't have the actual Power of the Prime's toys to reference when they were making them, they're just like, oh, just like reference this stuff in the pack. Like if they were given a kit of like, oh, different stuff to model based off of, and they showed them like, oh, here's the Earth Wars stuff that could have been possible. or like my theory of where like they get like told the animators like you got to make the Dinobots, and one animator was like no or like designer was like no I got them on my like at my desk, and he had the Fans Toys ones and was just like yeah I'll do this.
Was that your dog, Miguel?
Yes, my dad seems to be taunting my dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, our new mascot.
Nope.
Miguel's dog.
Nope, because Eric will kill you if you change the mascot.
What's her name?
But unfortunately, as much as I would like to move on from Power of the Primes and the Machinima series, we do have to talk about it for the next article, because they did reveal the premiere date for, at the very least, the first episode of the Power of the Primes cartoon, which will be May 1st. Tuesday, May 1st will be the premiere of Power of the Primes. And I'm not ready. I'm not ready to suffer.
Well, they'll still be following the same pattern they have been before by releasing it after the whole line is over.
I was going to say you're wrong, but
we've already got Wave 3 out, so it's like
only in like Singapore and New Zealand. So at least the line's not completely over, because
New Zealand,
because we did have Power of the Primes out before Science Return cartoon started by like 2 days, but this will be out. Most of the toy line is, as Chris says, out, but we do have a few exclusives that we do know exist, but we still have to figure out where they're coming out. And then we do have to, more countries have to get Wave 3 Deluxes, and everyone still has to get the Wave 3 Legends, Prime Masters, Voyagers, and Leaders. So we're not quite done with Power of the Primes yet, as with Combiner Wars or Time's Return when these cartoons came out. So it's a little more on topic for once. To try to defend this crap of what will probably be a crappy show.
They got it right. They got it right at the very end.
Yeah, they did. It's something.
Sorry, man, but the best thing about the Machina shows is the Frederi G1 redone.
Yes. He still needs to come out with the Times Return one.
I am in Blade.
He still needs to come out with the Times Return one. I heard he got delayed on that one, but still hasn't come out.
By the way, did anyone see the Scream Tams video?
Yes.
Yes.
That was quite fun.
Oh my god, I died laughing. That was great. I'm not even a huge fan of that meme, and I was howling.
I didn't know it was a meme, but then I was like, that's still pretty funny.
Why would you serve us hamburgers if we don't consume human food?
Yeah. But anyway, we're finally done talking about bad Transformers media.
Scream, the base is on fire!
So we can now move on over to good Transformers media, and we can talk about the IDW comics. Thing to talk about here, through Twitter, James Roberts has officially announced that he will be taking a break from writing Transformers after the conclusion of Lost Light. So... James Roberts.
Think they're going to find the light?
Maybe, hopefully, we'll have to see. He also did put
an unsolved mystery starring Robert Stack. Two Robert Stack jokes in one episode. Beat that, Eric.
I used to have a neighbor named Robert Stack. True story.
It wasn't the Robert Stack, was it?
No. I even asked my mom. I was like, okay, now I know it's probably not, but is that guy? And she's like, no. I was like, okay.
Yeah. To not go too far into the rabbit hole, he did not like give the titles for like all of the remaining issues, but like he like wrote something for each of the titles, and one of them, like for each of the issues, and one of them's Thermopylae, which makes me very scared.
Why?
It's a big thing in Greek mythology, because in translations, people think that it might be the pathway to Hades, and it is also the same it's the location of where the famous 300 Spartan battle took place. So, if Thermopylae is what is what he chose to use to describe the issue, it cannot be good.
Which issue number was that?
I don't remember. I want to say it was in the 20s, the low 20s.
Well, that's all that's left is like up to 25.
Well, there's like 18, 19. I think he wrote for 17 through 25, or 18 through 25.
So it's at least one of the issues not in the next 3 months.
Yes.
All right.
So, but I think it's like in the final arc of stuff. So, like the actual like arc, I believe, is what he's described. But anyway. Done with that.
Oh, jeez.
Who's okay? Is everyone okay?
I'm alright.
Register?
That did sound like one.
It did.
Is someone playing Pink Floyd around here?
I will be right back.
All right, Jared will be back.
I mean, just before we jump off too quickly from this, does anyone have any thoughts about the fact that Roberts has announced that he's taking a break?
Very true. Very true. I should have asked that.
Yeah.
I'll let someone else go. I do have thoughts about this, but someone else, if they have thoughts.
All right. Well, then I'll just direct people like Chris. I can't remember off the top of my head if you actively read the comics.
I read them when I can, and I'll be honest, I don't know who he is. So
he's the author of More Than Meets the Eye and Lost Light.
Okay, I guess.
Okay.
I'm a little distracted right now. I'm working on a puzzle.
Okay.
All right.
Tanner, have you read any of More Than Meets the Eye?
You're going to want to go to Jared for this.
Well, Jared just left, so.
Really? Well, then you're going to want to go to Eric for this. Oh, wait.
Eric's super dead.
So I guess I can go with my thoughts. I very much enjoyed James Roberts' work. I'm still figuring out what I think of some of his more recent stuff. And maybe I'll finally figure it out once the whole series is concluded. But James Roberts has written some of my most favorite stories in the recent years. A lot of his lore building, because I'm just so much into lore, I really appreciate that he put into the series and his stuff to actually build upon the Transformers world. So
was he the writer of both thing, or
what?
Was he the writer of the whole More Than Meets the Eye?
The whole thing.
Yeah,
like every single issue of More Than Meets the Eye was written by him.
Oh, then I do have some things that SoundJack continue.
Yeah. But I realized this after people pointed out on Twitter. It's also good to have a change of pace, have a change of viewpoint. It's good for him to take a break. It's good. I appreciate that. It's definitely good his story is wrapping up now because it feels like it should be wrapping up now. I do wish he would be staying on to write more Transformer stories to make sure his influence does not immediately go away. But also him taking a break is also a good thing, just to let him do something else, let him do something good. And hopefully he'll come back at some point to keep working on some more Transformers in the future. But the biggest thing I hope is that what he brought to the Transformers does not leave. And that also not just the story points he's brought in, but the fans he's brought in, because the fandom has changed because of More Than Meets the Eye Lost Light. And it is, and I've seen a few people after he tweeted that out, that he will, that there could be a bit of an exodus, because it might be more people aren't here for the toys, people aren't here for the cartoons. They were specifically here for that storytelling. And if the shows or comics can't bring forward that storytelling, then those people might just jump ship from the fandom, which would be unfortunate because it's done good things, I think. It's not just old men sitting in the rooms with their action figures.
Yeah. And I gotta say, Lost Light and More Than Meets the Eye, those are what actually got me into the IDW series, period. Like, it was back when I first started working at the university. I was just like maybe a 10-minute walk from the library, and they had, like, up to that point, all of them in all of the comics there. And I shouldn't say this, but I would sometimes use sick time to just go there after 2 o'clock or whatever, and just read for hours, and then eventually go home.
Yeah.
And I would check them out too, because I could do that. But I would just sit there and I would read, and I would read them and reread them and reread them. They were great.
I think. Sorry.
I'm a little. I guess it is kind of sad that the writer's leaving, but I completely understand where he's coming from. You got to reset those creative juices every once in a while.
Yep.
Or you burn out.
Yeah.
And I mean that's one thing where it's interesting whether or not how much of this is sort of voluntary on some of the not just James Roberts, but there's been other rumblings and Nick Roche also brought up a thing, and sort of in response to James Roberts putting this tweet out, that it's almost safe to assume that all of your favorite creatives, whether they're writers or artists on the IDW comics, like, don't get too comfortable with them still being there when IDW does make the reboot, like past the reboot, because they might want to bring in fresh talent.
Yes.
There's also the whole question in the air of whether or not IDW will even get a chance to sort of build a new universe like they got the chance to back when they started.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say is that I've seen a lot of people part of the larger conversation about people being upset with IDW ending. It's like, and they're valid to be upset and everything, but I think one of the strong points in this is that all the current books and everything, the writers are allowed to end the series on their own terms. Like, they were preemptively told, hey, we're going to wrap up. Like, it's end game time. Start preparing for that and writing it. Like, we're going to give you the shot to end it.
Yes.
Which is more, because before IDW, you had Dreamwave, and when Dreamwave lost the license, they lost the license, and the books just stopped.
But that was also because Dreamwave went under.
A bunch of the series at the time going unfinished, and then eventually over the years, scripts have been revealed and everything, and sort of guiding into like what the intended ending or what was written up to a certain point was revealed, and people kind of got closure. But at the very least, this will be a thing where come the fall, all of the different series, Lost Light, Optimus Prime, and Unicron will all end, and then you'll get Requiem of the Wreckers also in there which I think is also cool, because Last Stand sort of introduced the whole idea that, oh, hey, Transformers comics can be something a bit better than what people expect them to be. And so to get a little peppering of like, oh, hey, here's another Wreckers book right before everything just goes out with a bang, I think is pretty neat. So, kudos to everyone who's worked on these books and has put their all into it, and whether you have misgivings or anything about how the quality's been in recent years, I think overall the Phase 2 era of IDW has certainly been great, and even just the entirety of IDW's run has been really stellar and just made for some really interesting storytelling for Transformers, and is something that I would hope would continue, or at the very least elements of find their way not only into whatever comes next in comics, but also maybe backpedals and finds its way into like main media like the cartoons or even the movies.
Yes, that would be wonderful. But it's also going to be weird, because whether it's been between movies or between cartoons or whatever, since 2005, there has always been the comics. If you needed something while something was on pause, the comics were always there.
And while that's true, I'm curious as to how many, because like there's some people I know a lot of older, or I've heard a lot from older fans who a lot of them say, oh yeah, I don't read the IDW comics, and it kind of puzzles me sometimes, because I'm like in some instances where people are like, oh, I want more G1, it's like those comics have your G1, like
yes.
Optimus is in his 80s, like even during the Transformers ongoing, at one point they all got like switched to their Sunbow cartoon designs. Like your stuff's been there. It might not be the same characterization, or things might be messed up, but like they've been there. And no, it's something that will be interesting to see how quickly. I mean, it'd be nice if like quickly the changing of the guard happens and we get the books to kind of fill that void. Although at least when the reboot does happen, I think it'll be right around when like Rescue Bots Academy and then eventually Cyberverse will be around, so we'll have those in the background.
Yes.
I don't know. All right. I've just been killed by Tanner, I think.
No, that was for Eric.
That's for Eric. Eric's not here.
But I have returned, and we have suffered a loss.
We've
Wait, it worked? Oh, God. What about it?
Check the group chat.
Oh,
You'll see what happened.
All right. Well, while we're doing that, Jared, do you have any thoughts about just like James? Like, first off, how much are you into the comics, the IDW comics?
Not much at all, actually. Like, I haven't really read all that much.
Okay.
All right. So you don't have. Do you have
what's
any sort of opinion on the fact that James Roberts is leaving, or?
No, not really. Sorry.
That's completely cool.
Okay.
I can't tell what's wrong, Jared. What broke?
What's wrong there?
Rick Prime. His two arms shattered.
Which Prime is that?
The
shattered?
The Hallmark ornament Prime.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Was it Starscream?
No.
Starscream pushed him.
I only have this one. His arms look fine in this picture.
There are no arms.
Oh, you're Chris. I think you're looking at you're looking at the Skype chat. I'm talking about the actual group chat.
Oh, the text.
Yeah, the text.
Yeah, the lower arm on the left arm is just completely cleaned off, and the right arm is just all gone.
I don't have the picture here.
It's in the text chat, not the on your phone, not the.
I know.
Oh,
that's where I am. There's no picture here.
Scroll up a couple of texts.
Do you see the "I fear the wounds are fatal"?
No.
It was sent. What was the last message you got? It was sent at 9:42.
It was the last.
I got the one from Eric at just now. The thumbs up.
Yeah, scroll 4 texts up. Should be there.
That would be "We need a god of bisque."
There's no. Okay, no, she just doesn't have it.
Okay.
All right.
I can send it again if you want.
I think her phone's just taking a while to download it. I think she's got similar text problems that I have, and Eric has noted of late.
Why do you send it to just me? Maybe that'll help.
That could help.
While they're doing that, why don't we move along?
Yes, we definitely should be moving on. The next thing up is going to the movies that are also ending this year, but we do have images from Takara Tomy of Wave 2 Studio Series figures of number 10 Jazz, number 11 Lockdown, number 12 Brawl, and number 13 Megatron. So these are just more official and more proper images of these figures. No coins to help Brawl stand or anything.
Oh, it just arrived.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know that picture. Something's very wrong with it. The receptor is way too big.
But I will say these figures are looking pretty spiffy.
Oh my god, yes. Lockdown head sculpt.
I don't know why this article is listed as Takara Tomy when that's the Hasbro Generations numbering for Studio Series.
You're right, because Thundercracker is not part of their line. Jazz is number 9. But it looks like it came from, they came in from TF Factory. So
well, I mean, what is it? Jazz is 10 in the US.
Yeah.
He's 9. Whatever. It doesn't matter. They're the same toys.
Well, here's a question though. So he may be listed as 9, but maybe they didn't change the numbers on the backdrop.
I'd have to look at pictures. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it doesn't matter otherwise, but this seems to be the US ones because the Takara ones are also far off. But beside the point, the in-hand images of the figures, which look amazing.
Yes, they do. Brawl looks better now. With these better photos.
Mm-hmm. Brawl looks better, but at the same time, this still highlights my whole thing of how I love how just Brawl looks like garbage, but that's just because he's so movie accurate. Yeah.
Who is this Brawl guy?
Devastator. Devastator looks like
Devastator.
I will never accept that. It is Brawl.
So wait, Devastator. Tanner, how do you reconcile that then in the second movie we also have Devastator? How are they related? Give me your headcanon.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in my opinion, Brawl in the first movie is actually closer to the real Devastator than that pile of trash in Revenge of the Fallen.
Ooh, strong words.
Harsh truths.
And then Revenge of the Fallen Devastator, in some respects, is closer to the Diaclone version. We may be onto something.
What was the Diaclone version called?
I don't remember. But whatever it was.
I know what you're saying because some of them were yellow, some of them were red.
Exactly.
There was a blue one, if I'm correct.
In the Diaclone, I think, but not on the movie. But that can be you can take that up with Michael May.
You better believe I will be having a very intense discussion with Michael.
You can drive to him now.
Yes, I can.
Why?
Which also inspires the quote of the week. What?
Why
would I drive to Michael May?
No, why can you? Oh, because you got the car.
Mission. I mean, he has so many explosions protecting him, I know.
Oh, I it's the whole you have a car now so you can physically get to him. It's not that he moved, there was some news article he moved to this side of the country or something.
That would make it a lot easier, but
that's what I thought you were referencing for whatever reason. But anyone else got any opinions about these new Studio Series figures images?
Beautiful. Glorious.
Jared, you got anything? Jared, is he here? I'm not sure if he's here.
He's mourning his Hallmark ornament.
It is possible.
Or tending to the wounded. You super glue. He might still be able to save him.
He could. But
so as Jared puts together Optimus's arm, continue.
Well, actually, the problem is, it's Jared's time. It's time for pre-orders. So...
So what you're saying is I get 2 segments this week.
Sure.
You have a pre-order plan?
I mean, Eric already left us a pre-order, so...
what's the pre-order?
Yeah.
This week's pre-order is Saurus Ryuo Bestructor Combiner Set, which is a third-party take on Monstructor.
Hello.
And holy cow, I'm looking at it for the first time. He is beautiful. I want him. He is $360, which is, I believe, from hearing, is about $60 per toy.
Yeah, so for
and
third
these
party...
are big, I guess.
I've heard, didn't Eric say that they're a little larger than Power of the Prime's Combiner Wars figures?
That's about how they look, too.
Yeah.
Maybe. Also, I'm back again. Sorry.
No, you're good.
It's all right.
It's just Chris took your segment.
It's fine.
Sorry about
How's
that.
the arm, Jared?
No problem.
Right, so, who's planning on getting this guy?
Not me. I don't know enough about the characters.
I have a message for this company. Hi. If you would like to continue on your creation of third-party, less popular, more obscure combiners, make Raiden.
Hashtag Seacons before Raiden.
Hashtag both at the same time.
It would be pretty amazing and spectacular if Fans Project came back with anything really, especially Raiden, considering their this kind of came out of nowhere because Fans Project in some respects has kind of been considered dead, even though they were sort of the first company to produce things that ushered in the sort of decade of unofficial product we've had.
Mm-hmm.
This is based off of their City Commander, and then even before that, the people who made City Commander did the Cliff Jumper upgrade set that was only made 100 of them were made. This was a set that they had released previously, both individually and I believe as a gift set, in their Japanese colors, based off of the
Dino King.
Yeah, there we go, Dino King with the Pretender shells, which I am sad to see that the Monstructor version isn't going to have the Pretender shells, but at the same time, I get it because that was probably a tremendous loss of revenue on their part because those things were so big, and I think at first they were a limited release, and then at one point they made more of them, and then they went on super discount, and then this thing has been the Dino King version has been sitting around. As for me personally, the fact that we've seen that the Terracons have pre-tooled at the very, we've seen Wildfly's head on Cutthroat, so we know that there's a chance that we're gonna get, or at least the tooling exists for a Monstructor and then a Dino King if Takara wants to from Power of the Primes. I would probably just hold out on that front rather than picking up a third-party one, especially one that's $360.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what my thought was. I mean, I don't do third-party, and this is also a lot of money, but this would be a really cool set if there wasn't the possibility of us actually getting it. It seems to be a very slight possibility. I guess it'd be a box set of some kind, and something would have to happen with the torso bots.
I mean, even then, they could, if assuming that we a few years down the line, the molds that we're getting at retail now are still cost effective. I could easily see us getting them revisiting sort of combiners at one point, or even doing a set or something, or a wave where it's here's. Because these guys are all pretty different in color, even though they'd all turn into beasts. Mm-hmm. But it's here's a wave of just the Monstructor 6. Or, the Monstructor 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually about that, I was scrolling and their names are listed as Beast Ichi Ni Sanshi Go Roku, which is 1 through 6 in Japanese.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
So their names are literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Pretty simple naming scheme there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks cool.
I want it.
I'd like it if, again, we don't get official stuff.
Honestly, even if we don't, I still kind of want it just because it'd be cool to have the 2.
Fair.
But that's
I'd like a Raiden.
Play Mortal Kombat.
That kind of Raiden.
Metal Gear?
Not that kind of Raiden.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And its name is Bisk. Bisk is the weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
But, Yeah, so we're done with pre-orders. So let's get on to question of the week. With this being actually Chris's category.
Hey Jared, do you want to do it, or should I do both?
Wait, the what?
No, well,
question.
since I did pre-orders, since we thought you were gone. Do you want to do question of the week, or?
Sure, I can do it.
All right.
I don't know who asked them or not.
It's at the bottom there.
Eric, Jared, just ask a question specifically. Eric, where are you?
Stop.
Okay, so these questions are asked by @Jared Hebert, or Mr. Conductor, and he asks...
Alec Baldwin.
Keep going.
Jared Hebert asks, Beast Wars 2 Neo English dub, yay or nay? Eric prefers subs, but to each their own.
Okay. So, I don't know. Okay. I would like some form of official English recognition of Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo, because there's nothing of it released in the US besides recolors of the molds for some toys. Whether that is like an official like subset or a proper dub, I don't know, because the only thing that exists currently is a fan dub for Beast Wars 2 and soon Beast Wars Neo, so I'd like some recognition. But I kind of would like to see a dub, because maybe it'll just be as horrible as the terrible Malaysian Headmasters dub.
Oh, if it's anything like Headmasters, yay all day. Oh man, yes, we need that.
I'm sorry, that's the only thing I can think of with dubs and Transformers, that the bad Malaysian dubs.
Wait, hold up. Did you just say those dubs are bad? They are the most entertaining thing ever.
Okay, so they're so bad that they're good.
They're bad in the way that the room is bad.
Yes.
They're amazing.
Miguel, what do you think?
Beast Wars 2nd and Neo English dubs. I mean, if they somehow came into existence, I wouldn't be upset, because that'd be dumb. I definitely think that the ship has long sailed for us ever getting an officially recognized dub. In some respects, I would like it if we got an official sub, like we did with Headmaster's Victory and Super God Master Force.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't know how I would feel with since in those all of the characters' names were swapped to their English names. I wouldn't really like if that happened for some, because then Apache would just keep getting called the Boom.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think that if a dub ever materialized, I'd be for it. The fan subs for 2nd and then soon Neo by Karyudo fan subs, those are some top notch fan subs. They did them for Beast Wars 2nd, Micron Legends, Armada, and Car Robots, and each one comes with everything translated, the series, supporting material that showed up in magazines and stuff. Even in some cases, the musical scores will be included in the torrent that you get, and they're also all up on I almost said eBay, YouTube. If anyone wants to just watch this stuff without pirating it.
Mm-hmm.
Micron Legend, especially, I think would be something people it's not in the question, but people should check out just because it's the finished animation that we didn't get in the US with Armada. The production is just so rushed. That's something I want to see. Give me an official release of a re-release of Armada, but with the proper animation from the Japanese series.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't really have much to answer to this first question, because I've never seen Beast Wars. So
wait. Oh, you.
No, okay, so no. This is how we add this further. So now, do we go all the way for our when we sit Jared down like Clockwork Orange style for Beast Wars? Do we make him watch every single version? So
every single version,
original English. Okay, so that
just
would
not
be,
Beast Machines.
No, we have to include. So we get Beast Wars. How do we do this? Do we
Beast Wars 2, Neo Machines?
No, Beast Wars, Beast Machines. Then we go the Japanese release of season 1 of Beast Wars, Beast Wars 2nd. Beast Wars Neo, then seasons 2 and 3 in Japanese, and then Beast Wars Returns, the Japanese release of Beast Machines.
Okay.
It's going to be a long night.
Yes, it will. But it'll be worth it.
I don't think I survived that night.
it'll be worth it to make Jared properly educated.
I mean, if he dies, then not really, because then he's dead. All that knowledge goes to waste.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
I'll
give
come
him
back.
regular
It'll
bathroom.
be fine.
I mean, we'll still feed him
I'll
and give
come
him
back
drink.
to Galvatron.
But-
Oh no.
On the 13th, I'll come back.
Oh no.
All right. For the second question that Hebert asks, new dub for Headmasters or SGMF with
Super
I
God
do
Master
not know.
Force. That's what that
Okay.
stands for.
Okay, or Victory or Omni on, and then Headmaster dubs are perfect.
Assuming that's what Eric said.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
presuming-
probably.
Yes, Headmaster dubs are the most perfect thing in the world.
Yeah, I don't.
Eduardo!
As far as Omni on DVD, the Omni dubs are available on DVD. They were released in, I think, Australia and the UK. So you can buy legally that dub on for all the series, I think, on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the very least Headmasters. You can buy Headmasters on DVD.
Okay.
I need that on Blu-ray.
As far as a new dub, what are we doing? Are we doing a new dub a la Omni? Like, are we doing a new bad dub? Or are we actually getting, like, a proper dub?
Proper dub, Optimus Prime is actually there. Peter Cullen is actually there to voice Optimus Prime. Proper, good voice actors and all that jazz. And then it won't be as good.
Ha!
But see, then you need to get Judd. Then Judd Nelson has to come, or either Judd Nelson or the guy who voiced Hot Rod in the cartoon. Who voiced him in the G1 cartoon?
Who actually voiced him in the cartoon?
Well, you search, I'll stall. So yeah, if the guy, whoever, we'd have to get everyone. See, I don't know if that works because some of the characters show up like if they showed up in like the U.S. cartoon, they might be dead.
We get new voice actors to mimic them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Because
Yes, I would like to audition.
Because,
for
I mean,
part of any-
at some point, somewhere, someone's going to have to take as much as it's going to pain us. Someone will have to take over for Optimus Prime and Megatron and probably imitate their voices.
Yes, I would like to audition.
So, in the cartoon itself, Dick Gator was the one who voiced Hot Rod / Optimus Prime.
I'm sorry, what was his name?
Quite a name.
Richard Gator.
Dick Gator.
That's
That's up there with Speedweed and Dick Wolf.
With Ted Schwartz being Rodimus for like a couple of lines, and that seems to be confusing.
Speedweed.
Yep, Dick Gator's dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't use him.
rest in peace, Mr. Gator. You had an amazing name.
Yep.
Oh, he was Ape Face. Damn it.
Darn it. We'll never get Ape Face again.
No, poor Ape Face. But yeah, that's my answer to this question. Chris, go to you.
What? Huh? What?
New dub, Headmasters, Super God Master Force Victory.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Dare I say why not?
Go.
Anyway.
Emgo's not here, unfortunately. All we have
Now-
is Tanner. Tanner, go.
I'll run down to Philly and grab him.
Now, I have a quick question for this segment, too. For SoundJack. How long is a cycle?
Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry about that. A cycle.
Feature wants to know, too.
Yeah, I saw that question. A cycle is the Cybertronian version of a minute. I do not know how it's defined in the aligned continuity per se, but if it's based on the animated continuity, which it could be because it's kind of conglomerating everything, one cycle, while the equivalent of a Cybertronian minute is 100 seconds, is approximately 100 seconds.
All right.
So,
There you go.
yeah, which they refer to as, what do they refer to, the portion of a minute? What was the equivalent of a minute? It's
Isn't it
not.
like astro cycles? I'm correct.
No, it doesn't look like it. Cycle.
Or no, stellar cycles. I mean, no.
Nanoclick. A nanoclick is one
Yeah.
Cybertronian second. 100 nanoclicks equals a cycle, which is the Cybertronian minute.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see. I'm just going to double check quickly if cycle does mean anything else in animated. It does not. It does not. Again,
Astro seconds. That was it.
yeah, some places the cycle does refer to a year or an hour, but it seems to be the most popular one, which I presume the cycle is referred to in the line novels is as a minute.
Well, there we go then.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was kind of confusing for me too. I won't lie. There were times that even I was like, Okay, so it's been going on for millions of cycles. So is it years, months, minutes? What is it?
That sounds more like the use of a
Minutes.
year. That's weird. Because animated defines a year as a solar cycle. No, wait, sorry, that's a day. Stellar cycle. Stellar cycle.
That makes sense.
Solar cycle is a day. Stellar cycle is a year. Orbital cycle is a month.
Maybe they just use cycles. I don't know. It's confusing.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. It is time for Tanner's segment, Random Quote of the Week. Tanner, what is...
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Quote of the Week. I'm your host, Optimus Prime. Now, this week's quote relates to my purchase of the week, and it is from, previously mentioned on this episode, Hot Rod, as voiced specifically by Dick Gator, but Judd Nelson. And that quote is from the 86 movie, obviously, and that quote, of course, is, "If you're gonna ride, Dano, ride in style."
And just like you're riding in style now.
Mine's blue.
Nice.
Hot rod, hot shot, same difference.
And, yeah,
Well, let's see. One killed Optimus Prime, and one's really annoying.
okay.
And watched Optimus die.
But in Japan, Armada Hot Shot is Hot Rod.
I was talking about Cybertron hot shot because he's blue.
Inside, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that one's not called Hot Rod in Japan, I don't think, because that's supposed to be a new cartoon.
Excellion.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yep. And then moving on for this week's mascot, it is going to be me this time since I am in charge.
Based on what it says in our doc, it says that Eric, never anyone else. So does this mean we just can't do the mascot this week?
Well, I mean, I did actually convince Eric to change who the mascot of the week is. So I do think I can at least say what it is. So this week's mascot is Shakespearean Bisque. If you go peruse our Steel City Bots Instagram and Twitter accounts, you will notice a post from me, with Bisque taking on the role of Yorick in Shakespeare's Hamlet, with Hamlet played by good Dinobot, as today is the birth date and the expiration date of William Shakespeare.
And now that SoundJack has done this section, now SoundJack is Eric. Well, at the same time, he's also Tanner, so I don't know what's happening anymore.
I am just going to make a...
Human instrumentality, man. It's human instrumentality.
I'm just going to absorb everyone into myself, and then the podcast will just be me.
Yeah, nice.
Your Beast Machine's Megatron now?
Yes.
No.
Yes. To bisque or not to bisque, that is the question. But on Steel City Bots every week, it is to bisque. But we must move on and have Miguel discuss what else is on Nerdy Geek Talk this week.
Why do we put out so many podcasts? Good lord, I have to read all of this? The whole page.
Get to it.
Alright, so first off, we have Mandalore Mandate, Episode 3, Vader Rocks, Solo Clocks, in at Cannes Film Festival. This week, Luke and Eric break down lots of Solo news, Mark Hamill comments, the newest issue of the awesome Vader comic, and our favorite era of Star Wars. Also, with will Solo have a post-credit scene or sequels? Who knows? Definitely not us. Next up, we have Holocron Herald, Episode 24, Rex versus Walrus Wolf Dragons. Tongue twister. This week, Luke and Eric break down Trespass, Blue Shadow Virus, and Mystery of 1,000 Moons. Blue guy is bad, Blue girl is good, Rex is awesome. Also, Jar Jar can't stop killing people. Seriously, check it out. Next up, Misaligned Episode 6, War for Cybertron, aka The Good Game. I'm not reading what's in parentheses. It's too much. Last week we tried to talk.
Good too, man.
Last week we tried to talk about all of the games in one episode. That didn't turn out well. So this week we are just talking about War for Cybertron, the console PC version. Join SoundJack and Zeus in talking about contradictory Megatrons, Optimus always being Optimus, and space slugs? Question mark?
I think a line got cut out because the next line also mentioned Chris being on the show and her having fits of rage.
Yeah, I had some screaming that was happening, and yeah, I got a little mad at that.
Yeah.
Got mad at what?
Watch the episode, you'll find out.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the audio podcast. Cool.
You know what I mean.
Next up, TF Primecast Episode 4, Con Conspiracy Theories. This week, Eric and Aaron break down Episodes 8 and 9 of Transformers Prime. We talk Wheeljack, Silas, convoys, and a lot of conspiracies. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! I like
Then we have Awesome Asylum Episode 13, MCU Rankings Hurt Eric's Soul. This week on Awesome Asylum, we have Aaron, Eric, SoundJack, and Alyssa breaking down their favorite and least favorite films of the MCU. We even combine our lists to see our collective ranking of the entire MCU. Check it out. Anime Overdrive Episode 2, One Punch Man. In this episode, Chris and Alyssa are joined by Russell. Together, they delve into the recent classic that is One Punch Man. Plus, Japanese salaryman kills a tighty-whitey Clyde Bisk.
That's not even an understatement.
Yep.
You need to watch One Punch Man if you haven't already.
But those are all of our podcasts on the...
Jeez, how many of those do we have?
A lot.
I will say, I don't know if this happened to interview, but Miguel, whenever you read the first podcast, Mandalorian Mandate, after you said Vader rocks, your audio cut out at the worst time with solo clocks.
We'll see what happens in the recording, because I didn't catch it, so hopefully that didn't happen.
It was probably just on my end, but yeah.
But we do have a lot of podcasts on the Nerdy Geek Talk Network, and there are a lot of places you can listen to all of these podcasts. You can listen to us on YouTube or any place you can listen to podcasts, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, all those good places. I don't remember all of them, but it sounds like, but from my understanding, anywhere you can listen to other podcasts, you can listen to us. So check us out on those places. You can also check Nerdy Geek Talk out on Twitter at Nerdy Geek Talk, as well as Steel City Bots on Twitter and Instagram at Steel City Bots. As for our social medias, Jared, what is your social media information?
My social media is at Jared Proco on Twitter. That's where I'm at basically all the time. If you have any questions or whatnot, ask away. And I've been trying to post some stuff to be kind of consistent, but don't count on it.
Tanner, where can people find you at?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Optimus Prime, and also my name is Eric, guys, and you can find me on Twitter at Eric Crowbar, not the Dread from Dark of the Moon.
You can also find Eric on Instagram at Aramis Prime, so you can follow him for his desk spots with Bisque and Thermidor every single day. Christabella, where can people find you at?
Well, you can find me on Twitter. I have 2 accounts. My main, which is 18 and plus, is at Shingeki.ass. That's where I am most of the time when I'm not at work. Sometimes when I am. And like I said, it's 18 and up because of some of the stuff I interact with is, yeah. But if you aren't 18 or up, or even if you are, still want to follow me here, my alt is at Soza Productions. I'm not on there much, but I will see if you tweet something at me, so feel free to say something on there. I also have a YouTube channel, Sonozawa Productions, and I don't really post much on there, but I'm trying to get back to doing more vids, so hopefully soon. Yeah.
Some accounts rated
Miguel.
No one under 17 admitted without parents.
That's my main in a nutshell.
Miguel, where can people find you at?
My name is Riff Raff.
People can find me on Twitter at Logos Miner.
Cool. And if you want to find me, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at SoundJack426. My YouTube channel is predominantly a toy review channel, though there is also a podcast called SoundJack's Rambles. Eric, it is a podcast on my channel, not a whole show, not my entire channel. But SoundJack's Rambles podcast just talks about different things I like. This coming week, we will be talking about the Incredibles movie in preparation for the Incredibles 2 coming up. There's also... What?
It'll be great.
Thank you. But there's a lot of cool stuff out there, so you should go check that out. You can follow me on Instagram for cool toy photos, especially of things I've reviewed and things I post and other toy photos. And you can just go to my Twitter to hang out and say hi and show me some support if you want to, or just come and say hi. Come on, say hi, please. Please.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
But that is all from us tonight, so thanks for tuning in, and bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time. This is Eric signing off.